Hello boys and girls, it's time for bed again. Let's find out if that enormous crocodile's tricks worked. Do you remember that he had made himself look like a coconut tree? Soon, two children came along. They were brother and sister. The boy was called Toto and his sister was called Mary. They walked around looking for fallen coconuts, but they couldn't find any because the enormous crocodile had gathered them all up. "Oh, look!" cried Toto. "That tree over there is much smaller than the others and it's full of coconuts. Oh, I think I could climb that one if you help me up." Toto and Mary ran towards what they thought was the small coconut tree. The enormous crocodile peered through the branches, watching them as they came closer and closer. He licked his lips. He began to dribble with excitement. Suddenly, there was a tremendous whooshing noise. It was Humpy Rumpy, the hippopotamus. He came crashing and snorting out of the jungle. His head was down low and he was galloping at terrific speed. "Look out, Toto!" shouted Humpy Rumpy. "Look out, Mary! That's not a coconut tree. It's the enormous crocodile and he wants to eat you up." Humpy Rumpy charged straight at the enormous crocodile. He caught him with his giant head and sent him tumbling and skidding all over the ground. "Away!" cried the crocodile. "Stop! Help! Where am I?" Toto and Mary ran back to the town as fast as they could. But crocodiles are tough. It is difficult for even a hippopotamus to hurt them. The enormous crocodile picked himself up and crept towards the place where the children's playground was. "Now for clever trick number 2, he said to himself. "This one is certain to work." There were no children in the playground at that moment. They were all in school. The enormous crocodile found a large piece of wood and placed it in the middle of the playground. Then he lay across the piece of wood and he tucked in his feet so that it looked like he was really a seesaw. When school was all over, the children all came running out onto the playground. "Oh, look!" they cried. "We've got a new seesaw." They all crowded round, shouting with excitement, "I'm first! I'm first!" Then a girl who was a bit older than the others said, "It's a rather funny, knobbly sort of seesaw, isn't it? Do you think it's safe to sit on?" "Oh, yes! It looks strong as anything." The enormous crocodile opened just one eye a tiny bit and watched the children crowding round him. Oh, soon he thought, one of them is going to sit on my head and I'll give a jerk and a snap. And after that, it will be yum, yum, yum. At that moment, there was a flash of brown and something jumped onto the playground and hopped up onto the top of the swings. It was Mugglewump the monkey. "Run!" Mugglewump shouted. "All of you, run, run, run! It's not a seesaw! That's the enormous crocodile and he wants to eat you all up!" The children screamed and ran into the jungle. Crocodile was left all alone in the playground. He cursed that monkey and waddled back into the bushes to hide. "I'm getting hungrier and hungrier," he said. "I shall have to eat at least 4 children now." He crept to the edge of the town, taking great care not to be seen. He came to a place where there was a fair. There were slides and swings and dodgem cars and popcorn and candy floss. There was also a big roundabout. "Now for clever trick number 3, said the enormous crocodile, licking his lips. When no one was looking, he crept up onto the roundabout and made himself very stiff so that he looked just like a wooden crocodile. When the children came into the fair, one shouted, "I'm going to ride on that funny old wooden crocodile." The enormous crocodile kept very still, but he could see the little girl coming towards him. "Oh, yum, yum, yummy," he thought. "I'll eat her up in one gollop." Suddenly, there was a swish and a swoosh, and something came swishing and swooshing out of the sky. It was the roly-poly bird. He flew around the roundabout singing, "Look out, Jill, look out, look out, don't ride on that crocodile." Jill stopped and looked up. "It's not a wooden crocodile, it's the real one. It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you all up." The enormous crocodile cursed the roly-poly bird as all the children ran away as fast as they could. "I'm so hungry now," he said to himself. "I could eat 6 children before I'm full up." Well, just outside the town there was a pretty little field with trees and bushes all around it. It was called the picnic place. The crocodile crept over to the picnic place. No one was around. "Now for clever trick number 4, he said. He picked a lovely bunch of flowers and he put it on one of the tables. He moved a bench away from that table and hid it in the bushes. And then he put himself where that bench had been. He tucked his legs and his nose under, and he made himself very stiff so that he looked just like a long wooden bench. Soon 2 boys and 2 girls came, carrying baskets of food. "Oh, I shall eat them all," he said to himself. "They will come and sit on my back and I shall swizzle my head round and squish, crunch, gollop." Suddenly, a big, deep voice from the jungle shouted, "Stand back, children, stand back!" The children stopped and stared at the place where the voice was coming from. And with a crashing of branches, Trunky the elephant came rushing out of the jungle. "That's not a bench! It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you all up." Trunky trotted over to the spot where the enormous crocodile was standing, and quick as a flash, he wrapped his trunk around the crocodile's tail, and he hoisted him up into the air. "Hey, let me go," said the enormous crocodile, who was upside down. "Let me go, let me go." "No," said Trunky, "I will not let you go. We've all had quite enough of your clever tricks." Trunky began to swing the crocodile round and round and round in the air. At first, he swung him slowly. Then he swung him faster and faster and faster still. Soon, the enormous crocodile was just a blurry circle going round and round above Trunky's head. Suddenly, Trunky let go of the crocodile's tail, and the crocodile went shooting high up into the sky like a huge green rocket. Up he went, higher and higher, faster and faster, until he was going so fast and so high that soon the earth was just a tiny dot below. He whizzed on and on. He whizzed far into space. He whizzed past the moon. He whizzed past stars and planets, until at last, with the most tremendous bang, the enormous crocodile crashed headfirst into the hot, hot sun, and he was sizzled up like a sausage. Wasn't he a naughty crocodile? It's time to put lights out and go to sleep. Night night. Jackie Noel complete. There we go. That wasn't stressful at all.
That'll have us going.